Hello and welcome to GitLab. My name is Chris Wang. I'm here to just share a little bit with you about our onboarding process for sales development and give you a warm welcome. So, oh, I shared the wrong screen. Oops. Take two. All right. So I wanted to send you a quick overview of what your first month should look like in sales development. And believe it or not, this is a diagram that goes through the different things, and I'll explain a little bit more about what each of these are. But believe it or not, each of these is meant to actually simplify your life. So the first thing that we have going on is your GitLab onboarding issue. This is a issue that you can sort of think about like as general onboarding for everyone in the company. So if you are someone in engineering or people team or marketing, then you literally get the exact same thing. Um, and so there's a lot of things over here that are very crucial for you. And what I mean by this is getting on payroll, getting your insurance set up, getting your computer IT set up correctly. Some of these things aren't super relevant for being in sales development here. And so that's just something to take into consideration. There is a team that makes sure that each of these boxes are checked off. But myself personally, if it's something that I already know, then I felt free to watch videos at 2x speed if it was something that I felt like I already had a good handle on. And so to recap, your onboarding issue, this is something that's general for everyone in the business. It's the exact same thing. The good thing is that it's a great overview of what we have here at GitLab. And one thing to take it into consideration is that you can skip around. So if you want to do day 4 first or day 5, that's fine. And myself personally, if it was something I already felt like I had a handle on, then I felt the liberty to watch videos at 2x speed. All right, so the next thing that is on this map is the SDR BDR checklist. So that's going to run for your entire month 1. And because your onboarding issue is general and it's for everyone, we needed to create something that was specific for the sales development role. And then so here is an example of the BDR checklist. Our ask is that you copy this and share it with me, your onboarding buddy, and your manager. And this will just help to give us visibility in where you're at and to see how we can support. Okay. So this is the tactical about sales development here at GitLab. Specific things is, how do you reach out to people? How do you set up emails and calls that go out? How do you, which account should you target? And also, let's just say that you have a very successful meeting. How do you log that opportunity into Salesforce so that you get paid? And how much do you get paid? All right. So over here is all sorts of different videos, many different things to research, and it goes through work 4. And once again, this is a checklist. The goal is to streamline, teach you how to be in sales development here, to teach you the X's and O's, and to give you resources and videos so that you can reference later on in your career here. All right, the next thing is Tanuki Tech sales messaging. And one of the things that I want to talk about is it's actually pretty hard to get up and running in sales development here from a product perspective if you're new to technology. And the reason why is because our product is very technical and our buyer is very technical. All right. So that's why we created Tanuki Tech sales messaging. This is going to teach you about our value drivers, our competitive messaging, and it's really to set you up for success and to simplify our product so that you can know how to communicate with other people, what to share so that you can get business. Okay. So if you are not assigned live meetings, then that means that it is expected to you to go through these on your own. And so the way to go find the recordings for this is right here, Tanuki Tech sales messaging. And over here, there's a link to Tanuki Tech. If you click this link, then it will take you to Level Up. And where you find Tanuki Tech sales messaging is scroll down. You can see that there's now these tabs here. If you click on sales development, you can find Tanuki Tech, and then you can find all of these courses here. So at the end of a course, there is a quiz, and you don't get credit for the course until you fill out the quiz. And so over here, I just want to share a little bit about these quizzes. It says copy this file, rename it. So there's a correct naming convention. Then what happens is transfer the assignment. So it's important to transfer these files to me, and there's instructions on how to do that here. And so as an example, here is so if I went into here, it would prompt me to make a copy. Once I make a copy of this file, I want to fill it out and then transfer it to Chris Wang, and I'm responsible for grading it for you. After I grade it for you, then you get credit. Okay. All right, awesome. So I know that that's really a lot of stuff running around. Because of this, we wanted to talk with you about our new onboarding schedule. And what this is a single source of truth of what you should be doing at what point in time in your onboarding. And then so in your first month, what should you be focusing on, right? Right now, there are expectations for you to be meeting with your manager on a regular cadence. And then also in these meetings, what's the goal? So what I mean by this is, for example, in your first week, what should you be working on? Right? At the end of your first week, these things should be completed, right? Week 2, what should you be working on? And at the end of week 2, these are the things that should be completed, okay? So once again, this is a Google Doc. It's a timeline of what you should be accomplishing as you onboard here. And it ends with a check. And then so this is only for BDRs. If you are an SDR, we don't have a check for you yet. But for BDRs, at the end of your month, you will have a one-on-one with your manager where he or she will ask you to go through certain things. It's really a knowledge check. And our goal is to help to make sure that you're set up for success. So questions on the knowledge check will be very common things about the outbound process. So what I mean by this is like go over our sales messaging, who should you prospect, show me how to upload people into outreach, which sequence do you use, if you get a meeting, how do you log it, how do you get paid, how much do you get paid? So these are examples of things that could be an accountability check. All right. So I just want to recap everything. Number 1, you have your onboarding issue. This is a 2-week commitment. This is general and for everyone in the company. And my best advice on that is be the master of your own time. I don't spend the same amount of time on every topic because some of them are crucial. Some of them aren't as relevant for us as sales dev. Number 2, here's the SDR BDR checklist. This is operational. And so this is once again, this big checklist, and this is the X's and O's on what we're doing here in sales dev. There is this one more quick note about this in column B is weeks to be completed. This is not strict. And so what I want to say about this is it's given as a guideline, but you don't have to follow this. All right, next is Tanuki Tech sales messaging. You will either be assigned classes to go through with me live, or if not, then just start doing them on your own. And the links for them are here. So over here is the link to Tanuki Tech Level 1. When you watch them on YouTube, you have to be logged in as a specific YouTube user. And the reason why is because we just can't share certain things for public consumption. So some of these are private. And how you get access to this currently is in instructions on getting access to this are in your onboarding issue. So day 4 is how to get access to GitLab unfiltered. So this is just an example of how to get access to it. All right. So the next thing is SDR BDR onboarding schedule. This is the Google Doc. Copy this and then share it with me, your onboarding buddy, and your manager. But this is exactly what you should be working through in your first month. And at the end, for BDRs, it will result in the accountability check. Okay, awesome. So that's phase 1. Hopefully that's clear. If not, feel free to send me a Slack message or your onboarding buddy. Other things that I just want to talk about real quick. There's additional training in terms of best practices, in terms of like how to do your role. So I'll just briefly touch about this here, but I just want to show you where this is at. So we wanted to give you access to great content. If you are in an SDR, then you can find that here. And if you're a BDR, you can find this here. And then so we didn't want there to be any sort of secrets in terms of how to get really good at your job. We basically interviewed a lot of high performers and then made their approach visible for you. And then so all of that stuff is now here. All right. So that's just a teaser, no real action for you right now. But week 3, week 4, that's when to start role-based enablement. What we're just talking about is what we call role-based enablement. One more thing is when do you actually start your job? Right now, our ask is that you start your job in earnest week 2. And the reason why is because your quota starts the moment that you actually join the company. So we want to give you the opportunity to get paid out a lot in your first month. And so it's actually a really great month to hit accelerators. So what I mean by this is if you're only responsible for getting 2 meetings, if you get 3, you're already 50% in accelerators. So that's why we ask for you to start working on your job week 2. And it's not like 100% in. What we really are asking for is go through like a very, very, very basic workflow with your onboarding buddy so that if you're a BDR, for example, you found accounts, you found people that you want to target in accounts, and you set up very basic sequences with them, and then you've completed a cold call. All right. So we're not talking about like being 100% in working mode, but what we are saying is you're going to learn by doing your job in addition to all the enablement that you're going through. So the ask if you're an SDR is to start working through some of the leads you're being routed. As a BDR, it's to set up basic outbound workflows and to start working through some of the call tasks. And once again, the reason why we start this early is to put you in a position to get paid your first month from your variable compensation and to really be super successful here. So that's why we have a target start date of sometime week 2 to go through your basic workflow. The only other thing is something called SQS. This is the way to think about SQS is it's enablement for the entire field team. So everything that we mentioned here is mostly specific to you, our sales dev. SQS is different because it's for all of field sales. So you could have an SA in your class, you could have someone in channel, you could have someone in sales, you could have a manager in there. But it's more of onboarding. It's another version of what we're describing right now, except it's for field teams. So our ask is that you complete these sessions for best effort. Okay. All right. Hope that makes sense. I am here in case I can help to bring clarity to anything else. So just shoot me an email. And good luck in your first month here at GitLab. So grateful that you're here. All right. Take care.